He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I always love interviewing people from Marshall Electronics because you always have the coolest stuff.
We have a lot of that today.
So if you're a racing fan, you want to stay tuned because cool camera here. So I'm turning it over to you.
So most people know Marshall Electronics for doing rack mount monitors, and we have a couple of new ones that are in a value price series.
I know Marshall Electronics too because this microphone is a Marshall Electronics, an MXL microphone, and it's the microphone of choice for the Gadget. It is. Thank you very much. Go ahead.
We have a couple of new monitors that are out. Traditionally, we've had two monitor series, which would be our Orchid high-end broadcast monitors, as well as our MD or modular design. What you see here are two examples of our new Lynx monitor series. These are value-priced but feature-rich monitors.
Right.
You're going to see a monitor like this that's a dual 7-inch monitor. It's going to have all its controls in the front. What you're going to see that's very unique about this is on the
back panel.
You have every input that you could ever possibly want.
Boy, you sure do.
You have composite, you have component, you have HD-SDI, you have HDMI inputs, all with loop through. You're getting a professional monitor here, and these start, and I think this is really fabulous, it's $699 list.
Wow.
You can upgrade these units. You can also get waveform and vector scope and audio bars and the broadcast-centric features that customers are looking for. So if you need a value-priced monitor, Marshall has an entire series in its Lynx product category that's available.
I have used Marshall monitors for years, and actually my applications were always slightly different. I use them for digital signage monitors because we do a lot of digital signage, our company does, and in the control room you might have 3 or 4 different signs running, and we need a way of monitoring them, and I've always used the Marshall products for that because of the reliability, the ease of use, but more than anything, the price points and the fact that these things are on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've never seen one fail. I have one, and I'm not kidding you, has never been turned off in 8 years, and it's still running as we speak up in Toronto.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear.
8 years, not one, not turned off once.
Unbelievable. So that attests to the quality of the monitors.
Absolutely.
So as we go over the Lynx series, we also have a new one being introduced at NAB, which is a triple wide.
Okay, we'll get a close-up of that, perhaps, guys?
Absolutely. On this triple wide, you get 3 screens, all your controls in the front. Once again, we pack as many inputs as we possibly can into the back. So what you're going to see that this has is composite, 3G HD-SDI, as well as HDMI input.
Now, are those all on? Is it distribution, so if I want to pick off an HDMI and an SDI or whatever?
So it doesn't matter which one you use on each one of the screens. On this screen, I could use HDMI, I could use HD-SDI.
Right, my question is, are they all active?
All active.
Okay.
Absolutely. So there's not picture-in-picture on it. You have to choose between them, but they can all be active, and they all have loop-through on them as well.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Okay.
Price point on this is around $1,500 list. We expect this to be out sometime in June to July.
Okay.
On this. So once again, Marshall Electronics, known for doing rack mount monitors, has a value price series in the Lynx. We want customers to know that. What's been really fantastic at this show are miniature POV cameras. Our booth has been packed with people looking at these little miniature cameras here.
Yeah, I have used 1 or 2 of those last couple months, and they are astonishing. Don't let the size fool you.
Absolutely. Let's go over the first camera. This is our flagship camera that you see here. This is our CV500. We have a lot of people coming to us saying, we need a professional POV camera. They gave us some specifications to it, and some of the things they wanted to see were true HD-SDI outputs. They wanted control and feature sets on it, as well as interchangeable lenses. The first thing to look at is these have interchangeable lenses. We use 2 styles of lenses on this. We use an M12 lens, or we use a CS mount lens. These cameras start at around $500 list, so fantastically priced. The lenses that are available on this go from 2mm to 50mm, and those are around $30 list. So if you need a very wide angle of view,
Right.
we have a camera lens for it. If you need a narrow angle of view, we have a camera lens for that, and we don't rob you on the price. It's $30 on that. On the back, you're going to see true BNC connectors with 2 outputs. You're going to have HD-SDI as well as composite video outputs. You're also going to see a control feature on the back. There's a little button here that allows you to bring up a menu screen. Now this is really the feature richness of the Marshall camera POV line. You can control the white balance, the color, I can change the resolution on this camera. I can change this from a day to night mode.
Frames per second?
This does up to 1080p 60. However, I can jump down. I can use this camera here in the US, or if I wanted to go to Europe, I can move to 50 frames. I do 24 frames, I do 30 frames. So this has about 16 different steps and resolutions that you can utilize on this.
Fully adjustable for sure.
Absolutely. This actually requires only 0.01 lux of light, so this can see in near darkness. The applications for this product are really endless. We're discovering them as we talk to more and more customers that have used this. We use these in sports venues. They're used by the NBA as dunk cams. They were used in the NCAA tournament. In fact, we have one of our integrators, Admiral Video, coming over to our booth at 11 to discuss his installation of these.
Wow.
We have used these in Boeing test centers where they're testing engines, where they need to get unique points of view, unobtrusive cameras to do so. We have these being used by IndyCar and F1 racing.
Yeah, this is the one racing fans you're going to want to check this little puppy out here. Look at this thing.
So I love discussing the applications that people use
sure.
these
That's
in.
the fun part of it.
So this camera that you see here is a brand new one that we're demonstrating at NAB. What's different between this camera and this camera is that this is IP68 rated. So this can go into an outdoor environment. It can have rain, sleet, snowfall on it. What we have some of the race car guys doing is drilling holes into the asphalt. They then have this camera pointed up, so as the cars come across, you get a unique point of view of the car going 200 miles an hour.
That's ingenious.
Really? Over this. They place these all over the tracks. We have these being used in baseball as well, where they'll bury these into the first base. You might have seen, like on TV, you'll get a unique view of the guy running down the base. These are the cameras that are being used, buried in. So you can do unique things with these cameras. They are going into the house of worship markets. They attach these to microphone stands so that you can get a unique view for rental and staging. We have some of these on the Metallica concerts. They put these inside the drums so that you get a unique point of view where they pop it up onto the big screen. At this price point, they put these all over the place.
What's the price point on that camera?
All of our miniature cameras are around $500 US list. So whether it's this camera, we even have smaller miniaturized ones that you see here. This would be an example of a unit with a CS Mount Lens. This entire line here is around $500 US.
So they're very, very affordable and obviously highly functional. Now, what about the outputs? Let's take this camera, for example. What kind of outputs am I looking at?
So there's going to be a cable that comes down on this, and you'll see that there's going to be one cable for power. This requires 5 volts to 17 volts.
Now, does it come with a power supply, or I'm providing that?
So the power supply is a separate item because we have so many people that are daisy chaining these together. A unique feature is being able to do 5 to 17 volts.
Okay, DC.
That's correct.
A positive tip?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what you're able to do...
How many amps?
Each one of these requires 2 amps on it.
2 amps, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have your own power supply or are electronically inclined, if you have positive tip, 17 volts, whatever it may be, you're good to go and you have the right amperage.
Absolutely, and you can actually daisy chain these together. So since it requires only 5 volts,
you need more amperage then.
Absolutely. So different power supplies could power multiple cameras as you go along.
Are you surprised the Gadget professor knows all that?
Not you. I'm not
Okay.
surprised at all.
All right.
So different ways to power. We do have power supplies for this, of course. You're going to see 2 outputs on this. You're going to see a composite video output, and you're going to see a 3G HD-SDI output on this. These are full BNC connectors on this, so you get a sturdy connection on it. You're also going to see the controls on this. So this is the ability to control the menu feature set where I was talking about the white balance, the resolutions, the day-night vision on this. There's a very feature-rich menu set, and this is how you would control it.
So when you click that, whatever the monitor is that you're using, for example, one of these monitors or whatever monitor is that you're using, you'll actually see the menu come up, the operational menu, to make the adjustments for the cameras and it's basically controlled by this joystick.
Correct. Now, let's go to another application where you might have 30 of these cameras lined up. It would be very difficult to go up to each camera and control the menu on that. So on the back of this camera, you'll also see that we have an RS-485 port. So I can control those entire menu sets via RS-485. So I have a little joystick. I have to ID each one of these cameras, which we can do, 1 through 255. So I could control up to 255 of these cameras from one controller. So that's a nice feature set that we build into this as well.
Sure is. Why would you want to go out composite on a camera like that? Just because that's all that you have available?
So actually, it is a dual output, so I can do HD-SDI and composite.
So you can run them two.
Absolutely. So
that's good.
You can do two. Let's say that there's a lower resolution that's needed that maybe is going out for streaming.
Right. Composite's not going to give you the qualities that the SDI will. The other thing that you probably know, if you don't, I'll tell you that you're going to get much longer cable runs with the SDI than you ever would with composite. You wouldn't want to run a long cable with the composite output.
Absolutely. So as we see this product line grow, Marshall is expanding these. We now have some higher end Genlock cameras that are POV with IR remote control for zoom functions. So you're going to see more and more of these cameras from Marshall as the applications continue to grow for us on these.
What about the mounting of this particular camera? I noticed that this one you could probably mount on with a tripod or thereabouts. What do we have for this? Does it come with mounting apparatus, or you have to kind of make your own?
These cameras are all going to have a 1/4" 20 mount on them. So there's many that are available. Marshall carries about 15 of them. As we've started to find out where customers are utilizing these, a lot on the reality TV or in the stunts, we have everything from tripod stands for these. We have ones that will have suction cups. We have magnetic ones. So there are quite a few of those that are available, and they're simply plugging into the 1/4"
Yeah,
port.
I would imagine if you're, it's not that big of a leap to, if you have a GoPro and want to use similar mounting capabilities, it wouldn't be too hard to modify the mount on that and use that system.
And we see a lot of people doing different things. So we have a grouping of about 15 of those. I mentioned some of them, like the magnetic, the suction cup, that are available for that. The magnetic one would be where you'd stick it onto a car. An application for that is Rob Dietrich's skate house utilizes these when he's driving around in the car.
Right.
So a lot of different applications, a lot of different mounts that are available for this as well.
Well, as usual, you guys never disappoint me. You're always at the leading edge of the technology, and when you actually make something and commit to that, you do a superb job of it. There's no question about that. The price points are extremely reasonable for what you're getting, and I'm always impressed with the quality of Marshall Electronics, whether it be microphones or cameras or monitors. You're definitely a company, a contender, if you will. And if people want, these are available now.
All of these cameras are available now. This monitor is available. This is a new monitor, as I said, will be available in about 2 months. We're looking around the June timeframe on that.
Now, if you want more information, I'm assuming you're going to go to marshallelectronics.com.
We have all these products actually to get you there quicker at www.lcdrax.com.
There you go.
Or you can see our entire grouping of family products at mars-cam, mars-cam.com.
Will I be able to see sample videos perhaps of these?
We do. So you can see sample videos
there
of all these products on our website at lcdrax.com.
Perfect. Devan, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
Been a pleasure.
Anybody from Marshall's always welcome here.
Excellent.
You did a great job. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Have a good
Thanks
show
a lot.
and good luck at your 11 o'clock meeting.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. There we go, folks. Another first. We saw some amazing products from Marshall Electronics. This is Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in 2 minutes.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.